Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and this is my Sunday chat for the 13th of December 2020. How are you? I think there must be one more of these before Christmas. I'm hoping so. Anyway, this is my opportunity to have a little chinwag with my lovely viewers and bring you up to date with some of the things that are happening and the projects and looking ahead for bits and bobs for the future and all of that. So first of all, let me say thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it, and for subscribing and coming along to the live shows with Listen with Vobes, and indeed watching the Vobes show, those of you that do. I know they're all three separate different things, really. Separate different? Yeah, I do a lot of that, don't I? There's a word for that, but I'm not quite sure what it is. Anyway, on with the Sunday chat. I don't try to get this 100% correct. This is just me having a natter. So, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you as well to those people who've sent in Christmas cards recently. These arrived today. So to Justine Jones, thank you very much. Your card arrived very kindly. And to Mark and Daniela, thank you very much indeed. That's very nice of you. Also, I have a card here from Elaine Whitlock, who has put in some chocolate into my little box out the front of my house, which was in a card for Julia and her family, and there was some chocolate there for Joseph and Elijah. But the postman, or somebody in the post services, suspecting what it was, had cut open the envelope and whipped it away. I don't know why they would have done that, but anyway, we have some chocolate that has been replaced and put in my box. So thank you so much, Elaine. I did look for your email address, actually, to thank you, but I don't know what it is, so I'm not quite sure how to contact you more directly other than through this. So I hope you've got this okay. You obviously live fairly local, because this was posted through my door. And what a pleasant surprise that was. I was probably cleaning the van, the old Black Maria, or the Vobemobile, or whatever it is I call it. That thing I park at the back of my house. I was giving it a wash, actually. So that's probably, I don't know if you knocked on my door. Anyway, I've got a list of bits and bobs that I want to get through in our chat today. First thing to say is this week I'm sorry about not getting enough of the Sussex Border Walks out, because the weather has been a bit grim, hasn't it? And I really want to try and do these on reasonable days. They don't have to be bright and sunny, although that's always nice, of course, and it is December after all, but it would just be nice if it wasn't drizzly. I don't want to have to go and use an action camera like a GoPro, because the quality for me isn't there. And I can't use my gimbal and my DSLR or mirrorless, whatever it is, that I would normally use, because the water would get into the mechanics of the gimbal and rain would get onto the lens of the camera, and it just looks rubbish. And these things are going to be up on YouTube and on Facebook, where I post them for, well, you know, it's silly to say forever, because clearly not, but for a long time. And people are going to come across them, and I'd like them just to be nice. I'd just like them to be nice rather than just grim. So I'm doing my best to keep the quality up on those. So I apologise for that. So on some of these wet and miserable days when it's just not conducive to go out and make the videos, not because I'm being a bit of a wuss and don't like the rain. I don't mind going out walking in the rain. I often do, but not for video. So there will be other things that I will do when that happens. So expect a hole in the production. Plus the fact I think that realistically I may only manage to get 3 or possibly 4 of those border walks done, particularly over the next month or so, because we're going into the shortest days, and then in the new year we'll start getting sort of longer days, and I can perhaps go further, which I'm going to have to, and maybe get 2 episodes filmed and then come back and edit them, and of course it will save diesel in the van. So apologies that there aren't as many as I would like to have coming out, and of course it takes a little bit longer to do the research as well, and I'm trying to get that good so that we can find some interesting places, because now that I'm out of Worthing and I'm beyond Littlehampton, I'm starting to get into areas that are a little foggy for me. Even though I live in Sussex and I've travelled around, it's still a little bit foggy for me in terms of what places to go and look at. So do keep your suggestions coming in. Richard@vobes.com is my email address. But if I don't put them in, please don't get upset, because I do get quite a few emails and I do try to make a list, but sometimes either there isn't time, or it's not on my route, or it's too similar to something else, or whatever, or I just plain forgot, which is often the case, and I apologise for that as well. Now, I've just been out filming, so tomorrow's video, that will be Monday the 14th, and if you're watching this after the event, well, it will be out. It's edited and filmed and edited, and it will be going up on YouTube a little bit later. I've been to Climping, and it's a very nice one, and managed to get down to the coast as well, and there was quite a vicious, ferocious even, coast going on there. So something to look forward to in the next Sussex Border Path. And I want to thank Nigel Sadler, because he has very kindly put together a series of maps showing me the actual border, because I wasn't 100% sure where the border is. Do you know where the border of your county is in every little wiggle and thing? I mean, I'm sure it's easy to find, but he's done it, helped me by doing it for me, and thank you very much. That's very kind. So I can plot where I'm going a day or two before I go. And this is really good for me, because in the past it's been pretty much, my walks have been random. You know, I just think, where can I go today? Oh, I know, haven't been there. And of course, a lot of the places that that I haven't been to, I have now been to. And of course, there's loads and loads, particularly in East Sussex. There's plenty more of those that I have yet to go to. So there'll be more of that in the future. But being able to plot, so I know exactly where the route is. And also I think it's quite fun that you know where the route is as well, because you can anticipate where I'm going, which is great. So thank you very much to that. On those rainy days, I have put out, like the other day, one of Philip Mercer's stories. I love his book of Tales of Old Sussex. These are sort of tales that I've never heard of before, and they're just a bit unusual, aren't they? I always think when I'm reading them, they're a bit like Roald Dahl's Tales of the Unexpected. There's always a bit of a twist or something in them. And I know people seem to enjoy them, and they've said more, please. So there will be some more of those dotted around. I don't want to sort of spend, 2 or 3 days consecutively with them, but just every now and again, I will light the fire, sit down there, snuggle up, and bring another story to you. And I hope that most people will look forward to those. So there'll be those. I think I'm going to do one at Christmas for definite, and also either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I'm not quite sure. So there'll be a little sort of Easter egg, if you like, if I haven't just now got the wrong festival in. Yeah, you know what I mean. So that was that, Philip Mercer. Also on these cooking on these rainy days, I was thinking, well, I did a video yesterday about the Essie, and in the past I've always had this idea of doing some videos cooking on the Essie, so I want to get on with that and do some more cooking with the Essie, maybe some live shows as well with the Vobes show, but some simple recipes. And we were talking in the Vobes show the other day about homemade stuff, and one of those was pies. And I thought it must be quite fun to have a go with some of these things that, my mother and my grandmother would have known instantly, but these days not many people bother to make their own pies. I know probably my viewers are of a certain age who do still make things like that, but there's a lot of younger people who don't. And to be honest with you, I think I've probably done it once or twice in the long distance past as a bit of a novelty, and it would be fun to give it a go again. So I'm going to have a go at making my own pie. I am going to drop round to Suitors the Butchers in Pulborough, however, to sample one of their homemade pies, because they're brilliant, and just to get an idea of what to put in mine. So I'll probably do a pie in the Essie, because the Essie is a great vehicle or device, mechanical, it's not mechanical, stove, I suppose. Being wood-fired, it's a great thing to cook pies in. So that's that. May even do a mince pie as it's Christmas as well. So sweet and savoury would be good. Okay, nearly through my list of things. I hope I'm not boring you. Two things. In the new year, my son and his girlfriend are going to be moving out. They're buying a flat, and I'm very excited, very proud. But I'm excited because it means I shall get my house back again. I haven't had my house to myself. I had it for a very short period when my wife and I split up and she went with the kids. And for a very short period, I had the house to myself. And then through circumstances, they came back and one by one they stayed. And then eventually they flew away, and only Billy is still here. And I have no problem with that at all, except that, you know, he is in his mid-20s and he's got his girlfriend. They live upstairs in the master bedroom. And it would be nice to have that room, which means I can have my front room back again, because my front room really is my office. And I do some filming in there, and I've got my books and a single second-hand armchair in there. But I would like to get rid of the office part of it and the edit suite up perhaps into the master bedroom. I'll probably just still sleep in the little back bedroom. I'm not so much worried about that. And make the front room a nice front room again. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is it struck me that wouldn't it be quite fun every now and again to have a little tea party? What I mean is, when COVID is gone and we can all meet up again, it would be lovely to have a few people round, not all in one go, but just throughout the year, you know, a little come and have tea with the Vobes. I don't know whether that would appeal to you or not, but just for an hour or so, and we'd have tea, and it gives me a reason, really, to get a nice couple of armchairs and a sofa and what have you, and turn the front room into a reception room so that people can come round and have a little tour of the studio, have a cup of tea with me, and have a bit of a chinwag. Now, this may be initially open only to the patrons at first, and then we'll see how we go. Because I want to try and give the patrons who support me financially something extra special. So I'm looking at that. And another thing that I want to start fairly quickly is a podcast which is in conversation with. So really, it would be me having a conversation, not an interview, but a conversation with people who I find interesting, or people who I think other people would be interesting, or those interesting people who are my viewers. So it's not an interview, it's just sort of conversation about life and things and all that kind of stuff. I haven't quite got it in my head how it's going to work, but it would just be an audio podcast going to the patrons only, so that, again, I can give them something as a thank you for supporting me. And on that note, if you do enjoy my stuff and you haven't supported me and you've been watching and you think, you know, sometime I ought to buy him a pint of beer or something. I don't really drink beer. I'd rather you just sent me a couple of pounds. And if you want to set up, you know, to do that every now and again, you can do all of that on the baldexplorer.com website and support the show. There's no pressure. I don't make anybody pay for anything that they don't want to do. I have been accused in the past of fleecing people for their money, but the choice is yours. If you appreciate it, just like I used to do busking in the street when I used to do street theatre, people would throw pennies. Those that could afford to did, those that couldn't didn't. It didn't really matter, but it was enough to keep me going. And it's the same here. Anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for having a chat with me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And rest assured, I'll be out on the Sussex Border Walk in the next episode. Take care, and thank you so much for watching. It's been great fun. Bye-bye.